I started making UGC videos just on my phone with literally no followers at all, and within months, brands started paying me tens of thousands of dollars every single month on a consistent basis. So today, I'm going to be breaking down why UGC is the new currency and how you can start cashing in even if you've never posted for a brand before. So a quick little definition, UGC stands for user generated content. And so whenever someone asks me what UGC is, the way I like to explain it is that UGC is basically a way to make authentic content for brands where they pay you upfront for that content to help them drive growth for their brand. And the reason why brands love UGC so much and why they're straying away from traditional ads is because it's so authentic. These authentic videos literally made by normal creators like you and me can actually convert a lot more for the brands because they know it's a real person just talking about how much they love a product. Compared to traditional ads, people already realize that it's an ad and they don't even want to watch the video. So before we dive deep into everything, let me take y'all back to when I first started UGC around 13-14 months ago in my freshman year of college. My first 2 weeks, I started by pitching to around like 50 companies every single day, and I would literally just like search up a bunch of companies, find their company email, which was honestly not even the right email to pitch to. I would just make a really long pitch and I would change it every single time, which was super inefficient. And I would spend around like 3 to 4 hours a day just pitching alone. And I ended up getting only like one response out of all of those 50 pitches every single day. But it was only until I came across this application in a community I was in called Content Academy. And so this company called Jotbot actually had an application hiring UGC creators. And this is one of those like AI startup companies, which is like the main niche I'm focusing on today. And so by that time, it was already like 2 weeks into my UGC journey. I was already kind of hopeless because I was sending out like 50 pitches every single day, like freaking wasting my time. But I was like, might as well send in this application. Very basic stuff, literally took me like 20-30 seconds. I didn't even make a UGC example video for that company to pitch to them. I literally just sent in my portfolio, which had like very bad UGC examples. And a few days later, luckily they actually reached out back to me saying they wanted me to test a video for them. A lot of these AI startup companies hosting these UGC campaigns, they have these trial periods for creators to test out if they're a really good creator that fits the company's image. And so I was like, bet, I'll send in a video, and they actually paid me $20 just for that trial video. And so I was like, dude, my first paid ever trial deal. I literally copied like the pinned post on Jotbot's Instagram page that has around like 70,000 followers. This one right here.
I made a website called I have 18 tabs open for this research paper that's due tonight.com.
And so I literally just pulled up the video on my computer. I had my phone out and I played a line and I started recording, and I would just go line by line, and that's how I made the video.
I made a website that's called I have 18 tabs open for this research paper that's due tonight.com.
I'm telling you, like, UGC is the method. If you can talk well to the camera, you can make any piece of content. And in terms of editing, it's like very simple editing. All you do is like put captions and you put like a hook text and maybe have music. That video literally made me $1,000, and I was like, hey, UGC is actually like real, like, how is this a thing that no one's talking about? And it's crazy because I got into UGC after following a few people who were doing like skincare. I was looking at female UGC creators and I was like, can I do this as well? I wasn't gonna plan to do skincare, but I was like, there's still definitely a way to do UGC for different companies. And so I got into it. I was seeing if companies were looking into UGC, and luckily, I think I got into UGC at like the perfect time where AI startups were going crazy. Now they're still going crazy and they're looking for creators like every single day. And I wanna tell you another thing that not many people talk about when doing UGC. When I first started doing UGC, I documented every single day of my first 60 days in my UGC journey. And doing this actually helps more brands and more UGC creators see my page and want to work with me. I would recommend this to every single person, even if you're not doing UGC, is to build a personal brand. The opportunities were literally endless. This honestly will do you better than a freaking college degree, especially if you're majoring in business or marketing. That's what I was majoring in. But I mean, if you're trying to become a doctor, if you're trying to become a lawyer, personal branding will definitely help you with those opportunities and connections. But of course, like, you need to finish your college degree. But yeah, overall, personal branding has honestly changed my life. And if I were to start again, I would just lock in on my personal brand even harder than I did before. And of course, continue UGC on the side. Okay, and now on to why UGC is the next currency of attention. Nike, whenever they repost their UGC videos from random people, they tend to get a lot higher conversions and they build a lot more trust. But whenever they just make their normal traditional traditional ads, I would think it's cool, but I wouldn't buy. And with these UGC videos, I mean, it's not even about people like us talking about how we're like promoting this product. It's more about just talking about the product casually, saying that it's helpful, and then doing like a small call to action and getting these people to buy. A lot of these UGC videos these days with these AI companies, I typically see just viral, like goofy videos barely mentioning the product, and still what that does is it drives tons of engagement and views that there's no way that 1% doesn't buy. And so that's what companies are focusing on a lot now. Having a good mix of their UGC creators post viral, goofy content like this, and then more high converting videos like this. Typically these are like talking head videos, very normal things you would see on TikTok and Instagram. And both of these videos are students of mine who are working with Cluely, and they pay them around $35 per video, and they can literally post as many times as they want per day. So I mean, like, if you just spend like 4 to 8 hours a day making like 10-20 videos, 10 times 35, what is that, like 350? Personally, I've been able to pump out 10 videos in 2 hours. And so if I was doing that for Cluely, that would put me at a rate at 350 for every 2 hours of work. And so basically 175 per hour. It's actually insane. And then once you get to a point where you're making these UGC videos efficiently, you can probably do it even faster. So you're getting paid for your skills, you're getting paid for your actual creative work, instead of you're getting paid for your time when you're working a normal minimum wage job. And another thing I wanted to mention is that brands only care about how engaging your videos are. As long as your videos perform for that company, they don't care about anything else. Like for example, followers. Brands will reach out to you regardless of your personal brand follower count. As long as brands see your stuff, they're gonna reach out to you if they know you do UGC. And with these AI startup companies, my students and almost all other UGC creators who are on these retainer deals from these AI startups are making brand new accounts for these companies. My students have been able to land inbounds from their personal brand account with under 500 followers. And one other reason why UGC is absolutely dominating right now is that brands who've hired influencers with over like 100,000 followers see that there is way less ROI on their investment. When companies hire influencers, they're typically spending around $1,000 to $5,000 for literally just one video. And instead, they could spend those $1,000 to $5,000 hiring 20 creators at like a price of $600 a month for 30 videos a month. And let's just say 2 of those videos go viral out of those like 300 videos. The brand already gets the higher ROI compared to the influencer who made one freaking video for like $1,000 to $5,000. And that is why UGC is the freaking king right now. And the opportunity is literally like a gold rush. And so now here is how you're gonna get into UGC without needing any followers, any special equipment, or any experience. So let's get freaking straight into it. Step 1 is gonna be pick a niche you love. And so I first started UGC, I had no idea what I wanted to get into. I was just simply looking for any opportunity I could find. And so sometimes when you're starting anything, you kind of just have to start and then see what happens. And so eventually the niche finds you. But of course you can have a few in mind like home improvement, food, beauty, skincare, AI startups. AI startups have the most retainer deals. Almost everything else is like one-off deals, paid UGC, stuff like that. Once you find the niche that works for you, then you can keep rolling with that and see where it takes you. Step 2 is going to be watching content in that niche to see what actually performs. Specifically for beauty and skincare, you might be doing a lot of like product demonstrations, using the product on your hand, putting the product on your face. I don't do any of that stuff, but the main thing I see in UGC videos is if you can talk well to the camera, you can make any type of content. Every UGC campaign will be different, so you just have to tailor what you do to that brand. And now step 3, what I would recommend is following a daily system where you're making a video a day to build your portfolio and to pitch to company. And so what I would do is I would find a company I would want to work with. I would make a UGC video recreating one of their videos they already have on their brand, and I would use that video to pitch to that company. So I would literally just put a Google Drive link into the email pitch, and I would use that same video to put on my portfolio. And so simultaneously, I'm making a UGC example video, I'm building my portfolio, and I'm pitching to companies. It's literally like a 3-in-1. And so if I can do that for 8 days, I'll eventually have a portfolio with 8 example videos, and I'll have sent out 8 pitches. That's pretty good starting out for your first week plus 1 day. And then step 4, I would keep repeating this process until I get that deal, and then I would just simply focus on that deal, perform the best I can with that company, because that company will give you the stats to build on your portfolio to add more credibility. And then I would eventually ask that company for reviews, any testimonials that can build credibility on my portfolio so that I can pitch to more companies, scale even harder, and get higher paying companies. But yeah, just follow those steps 1 through 4. Do that for a few months and you'll eventually hit 5 to 10K per month with UGC, making videos videos like every single day, working only 2 to 4 hours, and it's honestly the life you want to live. I was literally in Bali like 3 weeks ago, and I was still making UGC videos there. I was still posting videos, and I was still making the same amount I was back home in the US. And with that being said, if you want me to personally help you scale to 10K per month with UGC, start landing those high paying deals, and get brands coming onto your personal brand every single day, giving you tons of inbounds, check out my Vogue Creations mentorship down below. Recently, we've hired 2 new coaches, and we're turning Vogue Creations into an agency, giving all the students brand deals left and right where you don't even need to pitch. We've literally taken our creators from 0 to 10K a month and over in just 2 or 3 months. So this is your sign to start. I'll see you in the mentorship. Peace.